another beautiful day in Burke Park.
Oh, it's just gorgeous, Stephen.
And I brought you up here to tell you a little bit of the story of Burke Park and the founding of the Land Trust. So Gallatin Valley Land Trust was the vision of Chris Boyd, who was a very charismatic character in Bozeman, and it was really this property that gave the impetus to actually create an organization to create community trails and to conserve our wonderful landscape here. Folks had been enjoying coming for a walk through the horse pasture here for a long, long time, and there'd been the idea of having this as a park. Chris and some city officials and active citizens really took that as their mission, to create Burke Park as a permanent park. And it took many years, but in 1993, finally, 40 acres of land were acquired from the Burke family and dedicated as parkland. The Burke family had deep roots in Montana and wanted to keep a piece of dirt that they could always call their own, where they might in the future build a home. And so they reserved 2 acres of land right up there at the very highest point of Burke, what we now call Burke Park.
Yes.
And the wonderful views of the Spanish Peaks and really 360-degree views of mountains. The Valley of Flowers, surrounded by mountains. This is Bozeman. Just last week, beginning of June, we were able to complete Burke Park with the acquisition of 2 acres of land, the last 2 acres of land from the Burke family.
Fantastic.
The Burkes are thrilled. They offered very generous terms to the city, and the city's been, again, a wonderful partner in this. So the combination of community trails and private land conservation is the genius of Chris Boyd.
Well, we're seeing such a diversity of people on this trail this morning, you know, old and young alike.
It's quite typical of a nice day in Burke Park. Dogs outnumber people about 2 to 1, and you've got young and old and everywhere in between. It's a place you can go for a run before work or after work, come up with your sweetheart and watch the sun go down. This is much loved. There are 100,000 people visits each year in this park. So this is a part of the character of Bozeman, and it's integral with the founding of the Land Trust and now the next chapters of the Land Trust. So, you know, you see the south end of town here, the beautiful urban forest, interconnected with trails. And the challenge as Bozeman grows is truly to connect Main Street to the mountains,
yes,
and for all of the neighborhoods to be connected to the backbone of that system.
yes.
So what's really exciting is
Yes.
that with the new library here in Bozeman and the extension of the trail system actually to Main Street, Main Street to the mountains has reached Main Street.
Yes.
But we've got a few gaps to reach to the mountains. So we're working with trail activists in Three Forks and Big Sky and West Yellowstone, Livingston, rail to trail activists to create a vision and a plan for a regional trail network so that we're not just connecting people together in a beautiful spot like Burke Park, we're actually, and people to nature, we're actually connecting communities together. And it goes back to this idea of trails as a piece of our infrastructure. So we're helping build a sustainable community by partnering with the city to keep this kind of park and trail infrastructure expanding as the city grows.
Yes. You've told me that you're beginning to work with a great deal with developers, and you know, that interaction is very interesting, you know.
The partnerships with developers are key to designing neighborhoods that have that complete infrastructure. It's not just about houses and sidewalks and trees. It's a complete street. It's a neighborhood that's integrated into the city, and it connects Main Street to the mountains. That's the vision.
Fantastic.
You know, this has been described as a perfect storm, both for private land conservation and for trails. Last year we completed more conservation agreements than ever before in our history, and same thing with the trails program. We reached 50 miles of trails in and around Bozeman last year. We reached 50 square miles of conserved land in the service area that Gallatin Valley Land Trust serves in the Gallatin, Park, Madison, Marr counties. It's a perfect storm of three elements. We have enhanced tax incentives that have recently been extended. We have the County Open Lands Board and bond funds through that program. And we have federal funds through the Farm Bill, the Farm and Ranch Protection Program. Together they make it economically viable for farmers and ranchers, ordinary folk, to enter into these conservation agreements. The challenges facing our community and the region are huge. We're going to grow, that's a good thing. How we grow makes all the difference. We have our work cut out for us. It's an irreplaceable landscape. It's vast, and it's still intact. And so the time to make this happen is now. The opportunity is here. What we conserve now is really all we'll be able to conserve.